Intelligence Studio. Do subscribe and like the video.
Social media is everywhere. It's how we connect, learn, and share. But for kids, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers amazing opportunities for learning and connecting with friends. Kids can explore their interests, discover new cultures, and build communities online. On the other hand, social media can be a breeding ground for negativity. Cyberbullying, online predators, and exposure to inappropriate content are real threats. This constant barrage of negativity can take a toll on young minds. It's not just the content, it's the constant comparison. Social media often presents a distorted view of reality. Kids see carefully curated feeds of perfection, perfect lives, perfect bodies, perfect everything. This constant comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and low self-esteem. It's no wonder that mental health experts are raising red flags about the impact of social media on young minds.
The pressure to be perfect online, the fear of missing out, and the constant cycle of likes and notifications can be overwhelming for developing minds. Cyberbullying, a particularly insidious form of online harassment, has become a pervasive problem. The anonymity of the internet emboldens bullies who can inflict lasting emotional damage on their victims. The impact of social media on mental health is not limited to teenagers. Younger children are also susceptible to the negative effects of excessive screen time. Studies have shown that excessive social media use in early childhood can hinder the development of essential social skills, such as empathy and emotional regulation. It's clear that social media, for all its benefits, can have a detrimental impact on the mental well-being of young people. This raises serious questions about how we can protect children from the dark side of the digital world.
Cyberbullying is a nightmare. It's relentless, it's public, and it can leave lasting scars. Social media platforms, while trying to combat it, are often playing catch-up. Then there's the issue of body image. Filters, Photoshop, and carefully curated feeds create unrealistic beauty standards. Kids, especially teenagers, are bombarded with images of perfection they feel they need to live up to. This can lead to body dysmorphia, eating disorders, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. We're raising a generation obsessed with getting likes instead of loving themselves. And let's not forget about sleep. The blue light emitted from screens interferes with melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep. Late-night scrolling becomes a vicious cycle, leading to sleep deprivation, which further impacts mental and physical health. We need to unplug, literally and figuratively, for the sake of our children's well-being.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese isn't mincing words. He's deeply concerned about the impact of social media on Australia's youth. He's called it a massive experiment on children, and he's not wrong. We're raising the first generation to grow up entirely online, and the long-term consequences are still unknown. Albanese is particularly worried about the mental health crisis among young Australians. He sees a direct link between the rise of social media and the increase in anxiety, depression, and self-harm among young people. He's vowed to take action, and his government is now pushing for some of the toughest social media regulations in the world. Albanese's stance is clear. Protecting children from the harmful effects of social media is a priority. His government's proposed legislation is a bold step towards addressing this growing concern.
Section 5, Australia's bold move unplugging kids under 16. Australia is about to drop a bombshell on the social media landscape. They're proposing a ban so strict it'll make Mark Zuckerberg sweat. The plan? No social media for kids under 16, period. This isn't just some vague idea, it's actual legislation making its way through Parliament. If passed, it'll be the most restrictive social media law in the world. The law aims to create a digital safe space for kids, free from the pressures and potential harms of social media. But how will it work? That's where things get interesting. The government is proposing a multi-pronged approach, including age verification, parental consent, and hefty fines for companies that don't comply. It's a bold move, and the world is watching.
Section 6, navigating the digital world: age verification and parental consent. So how will Australia enforce this social media ban for kids under 16? It's all about age verification. Social media companies will be required to verify the age of their users. This could involve uploading a form of ID, like a driver's license or passport. Now, this raises privacy concerns, and the government is aware of that. They're working on ways to ensure age verification is done securely and responsibly. For kids under 16 who want to use social media, parental consent will be key. Parents will have to sign off, giving their kids permission to access these platforms. This puts parents in the driver's seat, giving them more control over their children's online experiences. It's about striking a balance between allowing kids to navigate the digital world while ensuring they're protected from its potential harms.
Section 7. A Global Perspective. How Other Nations Regulate Social Media. Australia isn't the only country grappling with the challenges of social media. Around the world, governments are waking up to the need for stricter regulations. The European Union, for example, has implemented the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. This landmark legislation gives individuals more control over their personal data, including what data social media companies can collect and store. In the United States, there's growing pressure on lawmakers to address the issue of social media's impact on children. Some states have already taken action. California, for example, has a law that prohibits social media companies from using features that are known to be addictive for children. China, known for its strict internet censorship, has implemented a digital curfew that limits minors' online gaming time. Clearly, there's a global movement towards regulating social media, particularly when it comes to protecting children.
Section 8, Europe's GDPR, setting the gold standard for data privacy. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, deserves a standing ovation. It's a game changer when it comes to online privacy, especially for kids. GDPR puts individuals in control of their data. It gives you the right to know what data companies collect about you, how they use it, and who they share it with. For kids, GDPR is a fortress. It sets strict rules on how companies can collect and process children's data. Parental consent is paramount, and companies need to make their privacy policies crystal clear for kids to understand. GDPR also tackles the issue of targeted advertising. It restricts companies from profiling children based on their online behavior and serving them personalized ads. This is a huge win for protecting kids from manipulative marketing tactics. Section 9. A future without social media, exploring the potential impacts. Imagine a world where kids under 16 have never had a social media account. No endless scrolling, no pressure to rack up likes, no comparing themselves to filtered perfection. That's the future Australia is aiming for. Now, this bold move comes with potential impacts, both positive and negative. On the plus side, we could see a decrease in cyberbullying, body image issues, and sleep deprivation among young people. Kids might rediscover the joy of face-to-face interaction, spending more time outdoors and engaging in hobbies they're passionate about. We might even see a resurgence in creativity and critical thinking as kids are no longer bombarded with bite-sized information. However, there's also the risk of alienating teenagers, pushing them towards platforms with less oversight, and potentially hindering their ability to navigate the digital world later in life.
Section 10. A balancing act, fostering digital literacy and responsible use. Banning social media for kids under 16 is one side of the coin. The other, equally important side, is equipping them with the skills to navigate the digital world responsibly. Digital literacy is no longer optional, it's essential. We need to teach kids how to think critically about online content, identify misinformation, and protect their privacy. This means incorporating digital citizenship into the school curriculum, teaching kids about online etiquette, responsible social media use, and how to identify and avoid online scams. Parents also play a crucial role. Open communication is key. Talk to your kids about the potential dangers of social media, set healthy boundaries for screen time, and encourage them to engage in offline activities.
Section 11. Join the conversation. What's your take on social media for kids? Australia's proposed social media ban for kids under 16 has sparked a global debate. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. Some applaud the move, seeing it as a necessary step to protect children from the harmful effects of social media. Others argue that it's an overreach, potentially hindering children's freedom of expression and access to information. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but the conversation is crucial. So, let's keep talking. Share your thoughts, concerns, and ideas. How can we create a digital world that's safe, empowering, and beneficial for all, especially for the youngest members of our society? The future of our children's well-being in the digital age depends on it. In a recent global report, it was found that over 70% of teenagers worldwide are active on social media platforms. This has raised concerns among experts about the potential impact on mental health and well-being. As Albert Einstein once said, "It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity." This quote resonates deeply in the context of today's digital age, where the balance between technology and human values is constantly being tested. With the rapid evolution of social media, we're at a crossroads. How do we foster a digital environment that nurtures rather than harms? How do we ensure that the next generation grows up with a healthy relationship with technology? These are questions we must answer, not just as individuals, but as a global community. The decisions we make today will shape the digital landscape of tomorrow. Let's strive to create a world where technology enhances human connection rather than diminishes it. In 2021, China introduced strict regulations limiting the amount of time children can spend on social media. The government mandated that platforms must enforce a curfew, preventing minors from accessing social media between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. This move was aimed at combating addiction and promoting healthier lifestyles among the youth. The regulations also require real name verification, making it mandatory for users to register with their true identities. This allows for better monitoring and enforcement of the rules, while some argue that these measures are too restrictive and infringe on personal freedoms. Others believe they are essential steps towards safeguarding the mental and physical well-being of the younger generation. As we navigate the complexities of social media regulation, China's approach offers a compelling case study on the potential benefits and challenges of stringent oversight. How will other nations respond to this bold move? Only time will tell. While China has implemented stringent regulations to curb social media use among minors, South Korea has taken a different approach. South Korea has been at the forefront of addressing internet addiction among its youth. The country has established numerous internet addiction centers where children and teenagers can receive counseling and treatment. These centers offer a range of programs, from digital detox camps to therapy sessions, aimed at helping young people regain control over their online habits. These centers are staffed with trained professionals who provide both psychological support and practical strategies for managing screen time. The goal is not only to reduce internet use, but to foster healthier, more balanced lifestyles. Families are also encouraged to participate in the recovery process, creating a supportive environment for lasting change. South Korea's proactive stance highlights the importance of addressing internet addiction as a public health issue. As more countries grapple with the impact of digital technology on young minds, South Korea's model offers valuable insights into effective intervention strategies. Could this be a more compassionate and sustainable approach to managing the digital lives of the next generation? Only time will tell. The United Kingdom has taken significant steps to protect children online through the implementation of the Age-Appropriate Design Code, also known as the Children's Code. This comprehensive framework sets out 15 standards that online services must adhere to, ensuring the privacy and data protection of young users. The code includes critical measures such as turning off geolocation by default and minimizing data collection. These regulations aim to create a safer online environment for children, ensuring that their rights are respected in the digital world. The Age-Appropriate Design Code is not just a set of guidelines, but a robust legal requirement that holds online services accountable. By prioritizing the safety and well-being of children, the UK is setting a precedent for other nations to follow. As digital technology continues to evolve, the Children's Code serves as a vital tool in safeguarding the next generation from the potential risks associated with online activities. The UK's proactive approach highlights the importance of regulatory frameworks in fostering a safer and more responsible digital landscape for children. Could this be the blueprint for global digital safety standards? Only time will tell. In the United States, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, imposes stringent requirements on operators of websites and online services directed at children under 13 years old. This pivotal law mandates that these operators obtain verifiable parental consent before collecting any personal information from children. COPPA's primary goal is to empower parents, giving them control over what information is collected from their children online and how it is subsequently used. By enforcing these regulations, The US aims to create a safer digital environment for young users, ensuring that their privacy is protected in an ever-evolving online landscape. As digital concerns grow globally, COPPA stands as a crucial legislative measure that other nations might look to for guidance on protecting children's online privacy.
And do subscribe to the channel